Good afternoon, teacher, dear partners, and everybody in this classroom. Today, I'm going to interview Miss Mercedes Laredo. She is an English teacher and she has worked for IBNA for more than 8 years. Miss Laredo is going to share her experience in this professional ground.
Hello, Isaac. Hello, everybody there in the classroom. Hi. Thank you very much for your kind words and thank you for choosing me for this interview. It's my pleasure to be here responding to your questions. As far as I know, you want to study something that is related to my major, so that's fantastic.
Oh, Miss Laredo, can you tell me how you decide to be an English teacher?
Sure, Isaac. Well, as it happens in most of the cases, um, there was a moment in my life in which I felt inspired. Inspiration is the key word here. I remember I was 14 or 15 years old. I was studying at the school and I had a teacher, my biology teacher. His personality, the way he treated all of his students made me feel that I wanted to be like him, that I wanted to be a teacher. So at that moment, I decided to be a teacher. After some time, when I started studying English at IPNA, it was my mother's idea, right? During my first classes, I remember it was my basic one. I felt really good and I enjoyed my classes at IPNA. So in this second moment of my life, I decided to be an English teacher, you know? And then I noticed that all of the IPNA teachers have something in common. They are very enthusiastic, they are happy, and they connect with all of the students. So at that moment, I wanted to be an English teacher and work for IPNA. That was my plan. Mhm.
Was it easy or hard?
Well, I would say that it was hard. As I told you, I wanted to be a teacher and I wanted to study English. So I did both things at the same time. My schedule started at 5 a.m. and finished at 11 p.m., more or less. So it was hard. Yeah. And plus, when I applied for the job, when I applied for working for IBNA, I passed several exams, you know, and I remember that when I finished the 3 years studying English, there was another course for people who wanted to be English teachers, 6 months. I remember that I started the first month and I immediately after finishing this month, I applied for the job. So I thought I was not ready, but actually uh, I could, I could do it. I was accepted. And I think it was because of my abilities studying there at the university. Mhm. Yes, it was not easy.
Oh, okay. Can you tell me an anecdote that happened to you along your professional life?
Sure. Well, actually, there are a lot of stories I can talk about, but one of them was 3 years ago, approximately. I remember I was in charge of a basic three. This was a nice group. And I noticed that one of the students, her name was Carla, felt especially happy when I started the classes every day. So one day I got sick, got really sick. So I was absent for 3 days. And when I returned, when I went back, right, one of my friends, Miss Elizabeth Robles, one of my friends, she told me that Carla, my student, went to the teacher's room and she was asking for me. So when I was about to start the class again, when I went to the classroom, Carlita was there outside waiting for me and she hugged me strongly and she told me these things. I still remember her words. Miss, I really miss you a lot, because when you are here teaching the classes, I feel really happy. Your attitude, your personality reminds me my mother. I don't live with my mother, she told me. But when I am with you in my English classes, I remember those moments that I spent with my mother. So that made me feel really happy and made me also think that as teachers, we have the power and the responsibility, a big responsibility. We can change people's lives in a good way and sometimes in a bad way. So we decide, right? This is one of the stories, Isaac. Mhm.
Oh, thank you. The right. Thank you, Miss Laredo. Um, thank you for giving me some minutes of your time. Thanks.
You're welcome, Isaac. Thank you for the invitation.
See you. As we know, dear classmates, making a decision is hard, especially if it is about your professional career. But why not turning your passion into a profession? I chose a career of translation and linguistic interpretation. And how did I do it? I found it because exist people like Miss Laredo that helped me to find a motivation for the English language. The best thing is to study something you really like. For me, that's great. I know each of you has special talents. Prepare yourself. It is important because you will have been ready to do whatever opportunity. Find your motivation and inspiration, and you will choose your professional correctly. Thanks a lot.